Hey guys, Kuzo back with another stream, letting everything get set up here. Alright. I believe we're going live here. Let's go ahead and sketch while we're waiting for people to come in. What? Not green. Hey, what's up everybody? Everyone's starting to pop in now. What's up? 7 even. What's up, Jay? What's up, Kamurakaka? Kamurakaka. What's up, Emerson? What's up, Daniel? What's up, Mystery X? What's up, The Greatest? What's up, Moonray 58? What's up, Ninja 55? What's up, Fuji? Jordy? What's up, everyone? Hey, what's up? People be rolling in. So happy to see your face, Cam. Oh, I need to turn this down. Quite loud. No, I actually just got my new desk, and when I lean forward on it, it's a little creaky. I'm curious to find out how loud that is for the speaker. I'm sure it'll stop creaking more as I use it, because whatever's creaking is going to calm down over time, or it'll get louder. That works too. Which I will not be happy with if that is the case. What's up, everybody? People be rolling in. Your daily streams are very good. Well, thank you very much. I did not stream yesterday, though. I was actually going to, but I did not. But now I got my whole setup, and I'm finding out the kinks and everything to it. How to maybe do it better. Things I need to eventually fix, like this creak. Not sure about this thing. How do you pose characters? You pose them how you want to pose them. Now, knowing how to draw those poses is you studying those poses, breaking things down into more simple shapes so you can at least understand what you're drawing first, because if you're a beginner, you're gonna have to break things down in much simpler shapes, which is exactly what I'm doing right now, so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. And like this, breaking things down, learning perspective. As for having not very stiff poses and more fluent poses, that comes with learning gesture and balance. Because there's a balance to how you draw someone standing, because us as human figures, if we, you know, stand a certain way, it'll either be really awkward, and we typically just don't do super awkward poses. There's always a balance to it. That's why a lot of the time there's a general rule where if someone's standing there and their shoulders are going down at that angle, the hips will try to counteract by going the separate direction. And what this is it's saying that the person is putting primary weight on this foot and not primary weight on this foot. And then a lot of time this arm might be doing something like this, and this one might just be dangling. So it's really just studying figures, but also being able to simplify them into much more digestible shapes. Oh, hey, Cream Manga's in here. Hey, what's up, Cream Manga? Good to see you. You beat in both Third and Louis, I believe. Earlier, I was taking the arm and I was just practicing. I was just literally practicing the arm in quite the same position as I did up there, but what I was doing was I was experimenting by moving the arm forward, back, doing something different with the hand. Maybe this one's going forward, this thumb is like this. I was doing stuff like this, practicing this type of stuff, just sharpening my general skills of some of the stuff I already know, but being able to accurately draw this arm over and over again, this part, then maybe even go even further forward, maybe do a fist, trying to simplify this down so that way I can do stuff faster. And that's also what I do with heads and stuff. Once I learn them, sometimes you gotta take it a little slower, but learning how to draw them in a certain position, but then repeating that over and over and over and over again. So what I need to do is I have this head shape down pretty solidly. What I need to do is learn a more mature head shape, and I need to do this same practice over and over again with a more mature head shape, because that's something I know I'm a little bit weaker at. Boom, shakalaka, what's up? Bro, I swear drawing while watching Kuzo's live streams is amazing. Well, thank you very much. Glad you like it. Take a drink here. how to balance work and art? By being very, very dedicated to drawing. When you don't feel like drawing, draw anyways, until you feel like drawing. Sometimes, yes, it's good to take breaks, but majority of the time you have to put yourself into it. You have to go ahead and put in that work. That's where drive, motivation, and just how much do you want it really comes into play. Because none of this stuff is easy, you know. Some people think, just drawing is something where like, oh man, you're so lucky you're just sitting there drawing all the time. It's probably just like heaven. It's still hard and tiring, and there's things that I want to get a haircut soon. I mean, honestly, this summer's killing me. So with the long hair. Alright, let's... Trying to figure out exactly what I want to do here. I guess I'm gonna go this direction. What's up, Pickle Rick? Is it hard to draw anime style in Procreate? I mean, I would say it's just not as fun to draw in Procreate in general because their stability feature is not very nice. I don't like it. But if you like it, it's fine. Specifically, anime style doesn't really matter. I just feel in general, I'm not as much of a fan of just drawing on there. I mean, some people might like that type of stability. It's called Streamline. This Clip Studio actually has like a dedicated, very well flushed out stabilization. And you might be wondering kind of why stabilization is so important when you can technically get something like a screen-like protector or something like that. And the reason being is because, believe it or not, digital artwork is actually more sensitive to touch than traditional. And you're like, how is that even possible? Because the slightest movement actually gives much more push. It's kind of interesting. And a lot of it does have to do with not having the same kind of texture. I know there's like paper-like and stuff, but even then, it's so sensitive that you have to have the stabilization to a point where it actually corrects it to what your lines typically would actually be like during traditional work. At least that's what I've found. Trying to figure out the leg positions. Okay, see, I was thinking this super simple one here. See, here, let's do this. This will be fun. Let's go in with red. I'll show you what I was thinking. This is a super simple one. Then we also got the possibility of doing something like the leg is actually chilling. I like that one. It's more natural. Hey, what's up, Louie? Finally decided to show up. Should I move more this way? I don't know. Move this over here. The microphone. Great process. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Get this microphone as close as possible. Just looking at this. What tablet do you use? I use the iPad Pro 2021 model, 12.9 inch, 256 gigs. You know, I have to get used to saying 2021 because I used to always say 2017. I got so used to saying that. You're napping because you did another all-nighter day? Hitting them all-nighters. Are you planning on sharing your Procreate brushes settings soon as a sequel to the last time you shared your settings, which I think was 4 years ago? I'm not sure. Oh, you're talking about on YouTube. I've actually put like my brushes on my Patreon. That brushes aren't really that important. You just kind of do what you want. The only brush that I kind of had to actually work on in Procreate was my actual inking pen. Actually was playing around a little bit with it again the other day, just like for like really quick stuff. Not as happy with this one over here, but I used the same G pen back then on my oh shoot, I kicked my desk. On my Clip Studio as I do now. I have not changed that. That is my baby. My baby. Which I have shared the settings for those two. Actually on a few streams. But I might do another like setup type thing. Like what I use. Video, see if people like it. Since I haven't done one in a while. Clean lines. Thank you. You're amazing, Kuzo. Thank you for all you do. Thank you very much. Shafi, Rashidi. I have a feeling I'd mispronounce that. I'm sorry. Hey, what's up, people? What's your favorite sketching brush on Procreate? Your sketches line. Your sketch lines look really smooth. My favorite are. I wonder if you can see them right up here. It's the peppermint one at the very top and the Darwin one, or Derwent. I like those the best. Oh, my back. Let me scoot up. just beneath it. All right. With this setup, if the desk has sounded a little bit better. With this setup, I would actually be able to stream for longer periods of time while feeling okay and not getting some sort of blood clot in my leg. Because before I was sitting on the ground. You guys can tell I put a few more drawings. I had to move this blanket thing that's behind me up. We got 90 people, and good to see everyone. We have 87 likes. You pronounced it correctly? Really? Dang. I'm surprised. And no problem, Kuzo. You are a huge inspiration for... you're a huge inspiration, and I'm looking forward to your manga. Aspiring to be mangaka as well. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much. Are you caught up with Boruto? No, I am not. This is my first time seeing Kuza's face. Looks exactly like I thought he would look, minus the glasses. Actually, I don't wear my glasses all that often. Well, now I do because I'm at home all the time. But the glasses are purposely huge because I wanted to have a wide field of vision, or else I would have chosen a slightly smaller pair of glasses, because you can tell they're pretty massive. Like on my face, I'm kind of like self-conscious about the glasses, but I purposely got them this big. Which iPad do you have? It's the 2021 model. I do not think you have to have this model in any regard. This model is the update people are pretty underwhelmed about. All the other iPads can handle a pretty heavy professional flow, depending on what you're doing. Obviously, if you're doing 3D art, it doesn't have 3D rendering, like art rendering stuff yet. But if you're doing like Clip Studio canvases that are like around 5,000 pixels, you're gonna be pretty fine. Like that's like a pretty big canvas. So that's why I'm saying, like, it handles those just fine. I mean, most people, when they're actually working and they're more so intermediate artists or beginners, kind of the same thing, they tend to use an extremely small canvas. They're either using a small canvas or an extremely large canvas because they don't know kind of the general, something on my hand, they don't know the general like sizing. But for a decent idea of a general sizing, let's go back here. Let's go ahead and open up Bounty's Gate, and I'll show you. Let me show you the general sizing for this. So let's go to... See, the squeaking has already gotten quieter. That's good, that's good. General sizing, let's go. Oh, change canvas resolution. Yes, I know, I'm not actually going to change it. Let's go to pixels, because that's what you want to work with most. And this is a full-on manga page size. This is like print. This is like you're drawing on... If you've ever heard of Deleter, that's where a lot of people in the rest of the world other than Japan, that's where a lot of people get their manga art supplies. Good to see you, Punk. But yeah, basically a lot of people end up accidentally making their stuff either really big or very small. And then when it's very small, a lot of time what people end up doing is, like, I don't know why, I zoom in and it's super pixelated. It's like, are you working at 1000 DPI on the shortest side, or even the longest side? That's even worse. And yes, you would see pixelation at that point because it's just too small. So 1000 DPI is almost the equivalent of, let's find out, watch this. let's make a canvas here. Yeah, we can do screen size, and then we can go down and go to change canvas resolution. Let's go to this. Let's go to 1000 DPI. Done. So if we look at this in perspective of, now let's go here and do change size again. This is good to get scaling right. So you go to change it again, but instead you go to units and then you change it to like inches, and that does not seem right. 13 inches? I don't know about that. That's suspicious to me. Because, okay, let's put it this way. 1000 by 70, like 750, that's like a thumbnail size. That's interesting. So, because if you look at the difference between that, that's saying that this size is the same size. If we go to inches, this is bigger than a standard piece of paper. Millimeters. It's even more interesting. That's weird. Anyways, I ended up converting a lot of this stuff. Like, let's do a, what is it, 12 by 9 for your average piece of paper, printer piece of paper? This is kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to leave this here. I don't know how interested people are in this, because a lot of people probably already know what to do, but canvas sizing is kind of strange. So let's go into inches. I would like to change my inches custom, but it's not letting me do it here. Template paper, blah blah. So they're not gonna let me do inches unless I, oh, there we go, inches. I just don't see that. That's so weird. That changing. I don't know exactly. Well, I don't have all the answers. I'm sorry, guys. What's up, everyone? I haven't been looking at chat here for a second because I've actually been trying to figure this out. 12 by 9. This is sideways. This definitely is very reminiscent of, I think it's actually like something 0.5. And sorry about the sneezing sound out there. Let's go here and just kind of want to edit this. Change canvas resolution. Let's go down to pixels. Something weird's happening with the converter. Did you see that? Okay, so this time, see, I'm not wrong here. So this time I went to the converter and I went from what they said was almost exactly like, that went down to 864 pixels from what, oh, whatever. Basically, I would say the best way to figure this out is try not to go too low on your pixel count. I would say going above 2,000 pixels is good. But that's interesting. So they're trying to tell me 12.9 or 12 and then by 9 inches is 8,000 pixels. But they say when I convert this one, they say it's 5,000. And this one is in millimeters, though. Strange stuff. No answers for you. No kidding. Hey, what's up, guys? My publisher makes us use 2000 by 1424. Good to know. By 600 DPI. Yeah, I typically try to use 600 DPI because that's 350 to 300 DPI is also good, but typically for print, they like you to work. Future-proofing your work by working at 600 DPI is always good. But yeah, like you said, 2,000 pixels. I always try to keep, if I know I'm going to be doing something with that work, I always try to keep it above 2,000 pixels. But I keep it on 2,000 pixels on my shortest side. You're actually doing 2,000 pixels on your longest side. And that totally works too, though. Like, from what I've heard, that stuff can work for print. Like, I don't know. I've heard a lot of different things. But I'm kind of going, what's form? Oh, you must be talking about, form is basically if you have a cylinder, what is this surface area if we break it down into a grid? That is form. For example, a bit stranger of a shape here. What's the form of this shape? That is form for you. It's the surface area of a shape, basically. We'll leave that there. Maybe let's draw this guy's other arm. Maybe he's... croissant. You say something about croissant? Louis? I say croissant. Now, I've heard people say croissant, but I've heard someone say when I worked at a coffee shop, croissant. And I'm like, okay, that I accept croissant, but not croissant. Like, it was like croissant. But he spoke like English, just like me, and then he'd be like, I like a croissant. I'm like, okay, hold on. You drew the perfect one. This is, yeah, totally chilling. Alright. Croissant. Yeah, people really overdo it. Oh my gosh, Kuza Face, good to see you. Haven't been on a stream in a long time. Well, good to see you here. We got 105 people and good to see everybody. We're just drawing, doing some practicing. I'm gonna be hopping into some manga soon. Got my, one cool thing about my setup is, uh-oh, I gotta sneeze. Is it gonna, okay, it didn't work. I thought I was gonna sneeze, and I guess I got it under pressure. Finally made a stream. Good to see you there, Alan. Lewis over there chilling with his dippy eggs. Dippy eggs? Bless you. Alright. So... if you see me looking over here sometimes, this is where the other desk that I was using, I actually put that down here since the coffee table, and I actually have my like storyboard over here now, which I think I could even have my drink over there if I wanted, which I'm going to have some of this drink. 116 people, and good to see everybody. We have been going for 34 minutes, probably going to be going for about an hour today. What time is it? 6:50? Yeah, going to be going for about an hour. Flying kitty. Interesting. Alright, what do I want to do? I kind of feel like I'm almost wasting some of my energy right now on this. Save. When I could be over here doing page 19. All right. Page 20 would be easier to do right now. But, oh, sorry, that's probably really loud for you guys. Alright. I like it better over here. I might just shoot this over here, push that forward, move my phone, and let's roll. Let's get these lines nice and straight. I'm going to push this forward a little bit. I'm trying to find out my favorite way to do this here. Do you scan in? You must be talking about, like, if I do traditional work, do I scan it in? If I want it printed, yeah, I guess, but he's no. Sorry, my it looked like the YouTube was glitching for a second. Hopefully it does not cut out. That was no good. Did he say what software he's using already? Clip Studio Paint on iPad Pro. Does you do sketches traditionally, or am I a madman? I do a little bit of both for a good variety. Like right now, I've been doing them digitally with you guys because of this setup. We might go ahead and do some traditional ones. These are the traditional ones, which, I mean, you guys don't have to see it, but yeah, these are the traditional ones I've been doing with you guys on normal printer piece of paper. But you were partially correct. I do a lot of Yeah, they were on the Patreon. It's so blurry for me. Yeah, my camera is not meant to be like super cool quality. I don't want you to see this mug in HD. Although I do have an option to go much more HD than it actually is right now. But I'm not going to. I don't know why it feels weird for me practicing digitally. Yeah, sometimes I can feel a little strange, but you get used to it. Alright, so let me get these panels down. So for this page, I'm going to be coming up here. I guess I might go a little higher in my chair. Ooh. Gonna kind of change the leveling we're at. Alright. Which means I'm gonna have to do this a little bit. Oh, that's two of them. Alright. Going down about here. Cut straight over, cut straight over. Bam, that accuracy, yo. Did you see that? Cut down. Tilt this a little bit. I've been practicing my straight lines like a ninja. Did you see that stuff? I want to get the accuracy better. Dang, you got canceled. Shinobi lines. How long did it take you to understand the level of perspective you do now? Really, I ended up practicing perspective, like, to understand to the level I understand now, I would say, like, what, a year and a half, if you're actually putting the work in for perspective. So I had a general understanding of perspective before I really realized that, wow, how important it is. But when I actually started practicing, like, going and putting shapes in perspective and trying to learn it, things started progressing much quicker. At first it felt like I wasn't getting very far with it, but the more you do it, the more things start kind of falling into place. Sometimes it takes our mind a little bit to really wrap everything around what you're actually doing. See, drawing perspective with simple shapes isn't too hard. Drawing things like anatomy in perspective is much harder, and that's why drawing a bunch of simple shapes in perspective and starting to try to rotate them, it's really going to help. Well, when you break perspective down into its most simple rudimentary form, such as horizon line, everything converges to 1 point for 1 point perspective, and you just start drawing to that line. That's really all we're doing here. This is perspective. Now, think like a sculptor when it comes to more complicated shapes. It gets harder, yes, but now if I decide to go up like this, follow this, go down, decide to go in like this, then go up again, then maybe have a little cut here, do this, have it go down like that. Remember, follow your perspective line, pull down, go straight over. We're following the horizon line for this 1 point perspective. Go down, remember, follow to the horizon line point, go down, move over like this, following the horizon line again. So all these horizontal lines are following the horizon line. The lines going towards the vanishing point, we're always following the vanishing point for these 1 point perspectives. And this is where it's like, okay, this shape is not too, it's more complicated than a square. Now, you want to start being able to also do cylinders too. So your shape variety is what's going to really change things for you. So you just saw me build that based on the rules. I did it fast, but that's because I'm used to the rules. So I'm used to being able to go boom, 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 boom. I can make a square, you know, follow, do a straight line, which I'm not doing. Boom, 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 boom. And follow that, boom. You got a square. You have to do it a lot in order to just become accurate with it. And even from there, that's a pretty bad, not square. I say square and people get upset with me. Rectangular prism is, I believe, the correct terminology. I am sorry, which I should be saying it correctly because I don't want people going around saying square when it's not a square. It's just a 6-sided square. Right? 2, 4, 6, yes. Hey, what's up, guys? And you could even like cut things out of this. Now, go in real life with this kind of stuff. The reason why I said kind of think like a sculptor is because a building is literally a rectangular prism, square, with a bunch of different like things sculpted into it. It really is. You sculpt in the door, you sculpt out an overhang, you sculpt into it with a, what do you call them? Basically the thing that drains water out from the gutters. Yeah, they're just... We like to overcomplicate things in our head a lot. And the reason why that's just how we are. That's why you have to make these things familiar to yourself. You want to make these things very familiar to you. And we can create straight up an overhang here. Let's do a circular overhang. Now, you doing this circular overhang, this is where it's important to learn how to do cylinders. See, this is really just a quarter cylinder. Bam, you have an overhang. And then we can go cut this in this way, we can cut this up that way, we can cut this down this way, we can end up cutting this way, that way. What? An antenna of some sort, which by the way, it would be good to maybe look up an antenna, see what it looks like. Which this is not going to look like an antenna, and it's not even following the perspective. It's really just crafting everything based on those rules. Which this is not what goes in this at all. Not even close. Actually something a little bit more... Sorry, that is very loud. Something a little bit more complicated that I actually have anxiety about drawing is in this frame. Because I actually drew it I had a very hard time with this panel when I drew it back in the day. So one thing I've learned about very difficult panels is establishing that perspective is very important. And I'm wondering if this perspective is fully going to work, or if I'm just a madman and don't know what I'm doing here. Because I did draw this a while ago, so sometimes perspectives actually just don't work and you don't know what you're doing. And if I didn't know what I was doing at that time, that might be why it sucked so bad. See, I didn't even draw the perspective correctly based on what I was looking at. Okay, I wanted this line to go that way. No, it's still at an angle going slightly like this. Okay. This one like that. This one like this. So I guess I'm hoping that these two converge here. Let's see if the perspective ruler even respects this. What I mean by respects this is it might, sometimes when you draw something it doesn't actually go, no, I can't do that. It doesn't go according to what you think you're drawing in the perspective. It might completely change the horizon line, which is fine in some cases. Yeah, that's alright. Let's see if this works. So you might think, I'll just be the guy that uses perspective rulers. If you do not understand what you're doing, maybe testing it out on a perspective ruler is good, because that's the process of learning. But only relying on perspective rulers is not what's going to help you. in the long run. All right, so let's do that. And it looks like I was able to accurately get this to follow how I wanted it to go. So let's see if I can actually do anything with this. Hey, what's up, Skeeter McBeater? Skeet McBeat Beat. Good to see you, man. Thank you very much for the super chat. How old is the tablet glove now? Oh no. Can we make fun of you for your smelly old tablet glove? Sure. It is old. Smelly? Yeah, I need to wash this. Not I do need to wash it, but it doesn't smell. It is pretty old, but I do have 2 of them. So, but thank you very much again for the super chat. I really do appreciate it, man. I think you gave me one last time too. Goodness gracious. Or is this art stream for pros? Not at all. I will be creating a Discord. Don't worry, Sparky. I actually have one ready thanks to Third. He is the one that helped me with it. So, when I say help, I mean he did a lot of the work. Meaning he pretty much helped me out completely, which is really nice of him. So I need to take his hard work seriously, and I need to actually launch that for my patrons. Alright, so let's get on with this. Okay, let's see if I can... I have a feeling that I shouldn't completely follow what I was doing in this panel. I think I was trying to have something show, have his face show in this angle a little bit, while it might not have been good to try to get that position and the face showing. I think I had some problems with it. I think meaning I had a lot of problems. Okay, for example, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a lot of sketch lines on that. But since I've drawn this storyboard, I have become a slightly better artist, which I can already feel while drawing this panel. This is old anxiety from when I originally drew this panel, and I was afraid. And I'm already ruining this, and not in a bad way, like in a good way. I'm already doing so much better. Wow, it's amazing what old trauma can do to you. We good, boys. We good. We got this. Now, this might be a little hard. For me. Focus. Let's do something better. Let's do the epic one. Where is it? Where are you, epic one? End of time. Those little grunt sounds are me thinking. Alright. I gotta go now, bro. Gotta fill up some pages. Glad I caught you. Caught you though, dude. Well, thank you very much, Louie. Hopefully I have a good luck filling up some pages, and hopefully it goes well, man. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming by, like always, man. I'm new here. Hope you have a great day. Well, thank you very much. How much pages do your fight scene go into? It really depends on the size of the fight scene, and how much it depends on how many people are fighting, depends on the situation, if they talk in the middle of it. That's a very broad, like, for example, fight scenes in this first chapter, not very long at all. When it comes to the second chapter, that is going to be a whole different story. So do you have any old OCs you made when you were a kid and still use today? No, they all are trash. Nope. That's why I encourage people to like create things and not expect that to be their like end all be all thing, because that's kind of what holds you back. Like, guaranteed most of the things you create are going to be trash. Most. I'm saying there are some people that like create some things that they're like, oh, I really like this concept, and then they bring it over later on. That has happened. For me, it has not. I'm just letting you know. So I like maybe some of the concepts I don't mind so much, because I'd be able to expand more on it now in a more professional way. Yeah, manga name is Bounty Skate. What chapter am I working on right now? I'm working on chapter 1, but I already have the second one planned out, written mostly out. When I say mostly, I mean I've constructed the second chapter. Not all of the dialogue is there. I know what's going to happen, but some of it I'm leaving open for in the moment, feeling the situation and the tension while I'm drawing the storyboard. I'm leaving some creative flow for those in-moment experiences, because sometimes that's when your juices are flowing. That's when you are like, I think the character should do this right now. It feels most natural, and that's not what you might have thought of in that moment. Where can I read it? It's not actually out yet, but it's going to be on Webtoons for sure. I almost said faux show, which I just said, but I should move my microphone up again. Alright, well, we got that general pose down. That's cool. I was actually pretty worried about it, but see, putting in that perspective really helped me be able to ground this. That's why perspective for me was so important, is when I had a hard time with something and I was like, I cannot figure this out. Sometimes I would throw away the feeling and the image of what I wanted and realized maybe what I'm trying to do doesn't even fit into reality. And the reason why I mention this is because there was a very, very specific experience I had when I was younger, where I was trying to draw something and I just didn't understand why it wasn't working. And there was a point where I was so frustrated, and I was a teenager, and I was so frustrated, I eventually just decided to say, I probably just don't know what I'm doing. And I was like, I need to accept the fact that maybe what I'm trying to do isn't possible. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, that position actually quite literally isn't possible. That's why I was having such a hard time with it, because I just didn't know enough to even know it wasn't possible. And that's when I realized, oh, maybe I'm just doing something wrong and I'm not realizing it because I don't have enough knowledge to get that far. So what I learned when I was doing stuff for Noir Caesar was when I was having a really hard time, I had learned perspective really well. And I was like, I need to rely on the thing that actually is correct, the fundamental. And that's what helped me in the end. And that's why I learned how to make a head out of a box. Because if I told myself I'm having a hard time drawing a head from this angle, right? Of course, I know how to draw it now. But if I had a hard time drawing a head at this angle, what I learned how to do was be like, okay, obviously I'm having a hard time. I'm really tired. I would rely on the fact that I could create a box in perspective, which perspective is, it's set. You set the perspective, that is the box, you know. And I learned how to create the head out of a perspective box. But and I've shown this on my Patreon, I've shown this on my YouTube channel. This is the reason why I learned how to make it out of the most simple shaped box. And originally I used a skull. I learned how to draw a skull out of the shape of a box, because if you know how to draw the skull, you then know where the nose placement is. You know where to put the eyes. It literally gives you the place to put those things right here. And you got the nose that pops out. Yeah. You could see I was a little worried about the head here, so I went with a more lazy construction of what the head's actually supposed to be. Like that my version of the head that I normally fall back on, but I obviously know it enough that I was able to go ahead and do that more simply. Can you draw using one finger? I mean, yeah, but I mean, well, I wouldn't want to do that though. I mean, wait, I think I have an option to, oh, I do. What? I'm at 40. If I just go ahead and, okay, drawing with a finger is no different than drawing with a pencil. You just don't have pressure sensitivity. So basically, you need to know the shape of what you're drawing, and sometimes your motion isn't, it doesn't work very well because you're used to drawing it in a specific way with the motion of your wrist. At least for me, some people say to draw with your shoulder. I do not draw with my shoulder. You can tell the stabilization's coming in kind of strange, but general construct. I'm drawing Owen without this actually being Owen. I decided to put the collar on him. Of course, yes, it doesn't look bad or good. I'm also going very fast. Oop. Okay, let's get this eye. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, boys. This is how important memorizing the shape of things are. It's not about the pencil or anything like that. arm, the shape, that is a super... This is always hard for me to do. By the way, I'm holding the pencil right here. This is my hand. Bit of a frog smile. Let's go. Oh, it's a huge eraser. There. That's good enough for me, right? No, it doesn't matter what you use, really. I mean, I wouldn't say you want to go off and use a cigarette butt to do charcoal painting, but you could. I mean, I would say that just remember the tools really do not make what... It's your knowledge. Your knowledge is what's most important. Alright, we were at 40... And let's go back here and go higher with the eraser, right? Yes, we're much higher with the eraser. There we go. Let's go back to the pencil. And pencil. Teach me your secrets, perspective, and practice. Fundamentals. Kuzo's still streaming? Yes. I'm going to be streaming too much longer. I said I was going to be streaming for about an hour. It's been an hour and 9 minutes. Probably going to do a little bit more work on this guy, and we'll probably call it good, and we'll do another one tomorrow. Now draw with no fingers. I actually did that. I drew with my mouth. I drew Goku with my mouth in a video on my channel. Yep. Like, no joke, I did. Now draw using only your mind. I mean, we'll have to have the tool to do that one of these days, but I guarantee you, we will be able to draw with only our mind in the next 30, 40 years. There's gonna be a way to do it, especially once they allow people to put chips into their brain and be able to control. So I don't know if you guys seen, but they taught a monkey how to play a game with only his mind because they inserted a chip. What they did was they had him play the game, and then they eventually, they had the chip in his head and he kept on playing the game, and I forgot what they did so that way he would stop using his hands. I think they might have done something like bound them, and he started playing the game with just his mind. So it's possible. How do you feel that AI is going to create art for us? Yikes. Yeah, I mean, it'll create artwork. I don't think it's gonna be hard for AI to completely mimic anime style and manga style art right away because of how craftful it is, but it's going to get there. The only reason why I say that is because specifically manga is very technically based with these like lines and stuff, and if they could already completely mimic that perfectly, we would be seeing ridiculously traditional looking CGI characters already. Let's just make that simple. They're getting close. They're getting very close. As for paintings, they're doing much better with painting stuff. But yeah. But I mean, regardless, they're eventually going to get there. But Japanese stuff is also very traditionally based for a long time, especially it took manga so long to have a majority of mangas drawn digitally, and even now I don't think majority of them are. Maybe only because there's enough new generation out there as mangakas, and there's also enough older school mangaka switching over to be more efficient. So maybe it is majority digital now. I don't know. But yeah, no, I've heard about the AI stuff. I've seen it. It's pretty nuts. The good thing about all that is you having a you having a social media presence like someone like me. There's going to be a big market still for watching people like me do my stuff and putting out content like I am. There's definitely going to be a huge market for that, and the little lonely people aren't going to have the money to create huge corporate, like, let's just say the first software that can really like perfectly execute this stuff is going to cost a lot, and it's only going to be used on a corporate scale. But there's still always going to be a place for like content like this, kind of like how I said traditional art is dying. It's not going to completely die, but it's not going to be as existent, especially if you want to be in the professional industry. A huge portion of the professional industry is already done digitally, but there is still a huge market for watching and buying traditional works, just not in a huge mass market of the industry. So the market for this stuff is going to be around for quite a little bit. Now, I would be more worried for concept artists and assistants, because the smarter things get, the easier people will have options to have stock photos or things that say, here's a background, and be like, I want it to look like, and then put in a bunch of images, and then it kind of creates a mashup of buildings and textures like that stuff. Like I said, perspective is what it is. It's there. Like, the organic structures are always going to be a little harder. So it's really going to start getting rid of some of like assistant work. Like concept artists is going to be able to take ideas from a bunch of different images and put them together, because concept art is all about just kind of like bringing together the good parts of most images or most things. Oh yeah, that's true, but even then it's easier to get things going for yourself if you don't have to find someone to illustrate your ideas for you. Yeah, and that's where, if you're going to be an illustrator, it would be a good idea to be able to do your stuff on your own. For writers, if those programs can create something that actually looks professionally done, yes, and it's at a cheap price, let's say even $1,000, a writer's going to save up $1,000 for that product if that product's not a person and can create a bunch of their content for them. like actually draw for them essentially as a robot. Of course, a writer's going to go for that. The people who are already artists and like to draw, they might, you know, have to just kind of do their own thing. But at the same time, I do have to say there is going to be a level, man, that type of software to be at a budgetable, like buyable price for your average writer, like that's an aspiring writer, that is going to be at a massive price range. Like if you think about it, it's going to have to know how to create these panels, perspectives, characters. Then on top of that, they have to be able to craft character designs as well. If it's just a writer, they're going to have to be able to tell this thing how to do specific designs and specific clothing designs that aren't too similar to other things. It's going to be a massively complex program, and it's not going to be cheap. But it's going to happen. I just don't think that type of thing to be accessible for a normal, just everyday working person. It's going to be expensive as hell. Man, this turned into a huge, like, conversation. Fun stuff, though. But do I foresee it actually hurting some of the, you know, like, artists like me, this type of industry at some point in the future? Yes, I do. I'm not ignorant enough to think it won't. It definitely will. It will affect it in ways that people may not understand. But like I said, just like with traditional art, there's always going to be a place. But that place is going to be places like you have to have your own audience, because slowly, like manufacturing companies, they're going to be getting rid of the works that computers can take over, like repetitive jobs. That's why I mentioned backgrounds and stuff and assistant work. Those are very repetitive jobs. Backgrounds aren't necessarily super creative. They can be, but not always, especially if you're doing something in like a modern setting. I'm gonna have to clean up this sketch at some point. Should I put the pillar here, or should I? Because then that's gonna go over here. This pillar would go down. Should I put the pillar over here? But then maybe we'll see a pillar over there. I think putting the pillar here might help, because then it'll be bringing us straight down like this, right to him. I have these open areas here. I might change this. I don't know. The way I did the background, but What time is it? Okay. I should probably get going here soon. Probably gonna throw this together real quick. At least a little bit of it. Whoops. I thought I grabbed the... Boom, boom. What's up? We got 28 people in here. Cartoon Network was fire, bro. Yeah, it was. Okay, I'm leaving you at the Bakugan part, not Bakuman. I'm leaving. I have not read JoJo's. Guys, having just manga talk down here. Yeah, plot twists are kind of nerve-wracking when you're trying to think of them. But, in any case, I think that's going to be about the end of the stream. My back is crack-a-lacking. Ugh. But yeah, in any case, this was really fun. Definitely going to be streaming tomorrow, hopefully maybe a little bit longer or whatnot, or just the same amount of time. Oh, hour and a half, that's a pretty good amount. We'll do like a really long stream one day, but in any case, hope you guys are having a good one. Hopefully we can get it up and even better. More people in tomorrow. Then we possibly around the same time. But in any case, have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. I'm gonna push on stream. Oh!